game. How about this when it comes to Notre Dame? Armstrong, do we have this? Marcus Freeman, it was announced a couple of days ago, would be the next head coach to replace Brian Kelly. Look, it takes a little bit to get into this. This is video from Notre Dame football as the team is being discussed, as the team is having a meeting with one of the assistant coaches. I wish I knew who it was. I'm sorry, I don't. And then just kind of watch what happens.
We're extremely proud of you guys on your focus and your ability to lock in all week long this week, okay? It was awesome to see, awesome to be a part of. It shows who you are, your DNA, your mental toughness, your physical toughness, the way you compete, the way you care about each other. Okay, that's what this team run is going to be about. Competing, getting after it with mental and physical toughness, and being the best in the country at what we do. So we ready to do that? Yes, sir. All right, so what I'm going to do now, okay, because you're a brand new head football coach.
Marcus Freeman, defensive coordinator at the age of, 35 years old, is running now one of the great tradition-rich programs in college football history.
I think it's a great move, and I know that there'll be some people that say, you could have had Luke Fickell, or you could have had this guy or that guy, or there's many more people out there with a lot more experience, but I think sometimes, vis-a-vis Lincoln Riley, you have somebody that's just talented. I think Marcus Freeman is that talented. I think texting you watching the Florida State Notre Dame game this year, saying like, man, this guy has no fear about calling a defense. And I love the way that he was aggressive. I love the way that he approaches things. He's already, known as kind of a rock star in recruiting. He helped build what's going on at Cincinnati right now. And that is a vibe and an energy that, I'm sorry that Brian Kelly probably just can't bring to a place. And that's not a knock on Brian Kelly. He did an excellent job at Notre Dame. But, if you want to take the next step and maybe do something different, Marcus Freeman is different, and that's young and energetic and out there, and has his finger on the pulse of what today's college athlete wants. I think it's a great hire by Notre Dame.
Well, one thing's clear after last night, he's 100% more genuine than Brian Kelly is, 100% more authentic a human being than Brian Kelly is. And look, Brian Kelly can be a little bit fake and still be a great football coach, so that's still going to work out just fine for LSU. But, good to see the players excited about it. I think if you ever saw a video like that where the coach was introduced and they didn't get pumped up, that'd be a little bit concerning. But it's clear they have a lot of love for him. So, let the Marcus Freeman era begin. And, maybe it's in a college football playoff and, here in a couple of weeks, or actually not a couple of weeks, but maybe it's announced here in a couple of days because they're in the mix, even though they're not playing this weekend. So, that's awesome. Good for Notre Dame to take a chance and not do the typical thing of going and just trying to steal somebody else's coach in the middle of the night like so many have done this offseason, or feel like they have to go and get the head coach at the other big school, and that's the only way that they can keep things going. They're going the complete opposite direction of an Oklahoma or an LSU or a USC. Well, I guess I can't say Oklahoma really because we don't know just yet, but LSU and USC most definitely. So it's a different way to do things, but I hope it's equally successful. And matter of fact, I hope it's even more successful because I think it'd be better to have the Marcus Freemans of the world getting hired than the Lincoln Rileys and the Brian Kellys getting poached left and right. I think for the student athlete, that's a better thing than what we saw, in the early part of this coaching carousel.
One of the things about the coaching carousel that happened was there was this kind of wave across everything that seemed like, you need to have a guy with head coaching experience. Well, most of the great head coaches in the world didn't come out of the coaching womb and wipe off and go, I'm a head coach now.
Well, first of all, everybody had to have a first job.
But everybody had to have a first job or had to be a coordinator or a position coach first. So if nobody ever makes a position coach a head coach or a head coach or an assistant coach a head coach, then nobody would be a head coach.
All right, that's a good point. You got to have your opportunities. There's a lot of retread that you see in the professional leagues as well. Now, a couple of things. Ross Dellinger from